Good evening, everybody. I know I'm at a different time than I normally am. I'm going to try in the evenings for a while and see what happens. I'm going to give a moment for everybody to get on board here. So let me bring up my iPad so I can watch the comments. Okay. When you come on, please say hello so I know that you're here. And if you're not in Arkansas, let us know where you're watching from. But I'm going to give a moment here, so I probably came on just a moment too early. Let me get my lighting. That gave a funny glare on me. Okay. Hope everybody's doing well. I'm going to go ahead and turn you down here in case we have some technical difficulties. So close your eyes if you get seasick. And get it positioned right here. All right. I don't know what the squiggly lines are. I hope they go away. It looks like they're not going anywhere anytime soon. Let me go ahead and zoom it in just a tiny bit. Oops, a little bit too much. Alright, I know people have been having problems with their Facebook Lives. It's saying live video interrupted. I hope that's not a problem tonight. Okay. I'm just going to wait a second here and see if that goes away. Alright. Looks like it might be trying to clear up. I may have to restart. Like I said, be sure you say hello. Let me know if you're having a problem on your side of the screen, or if it's just me. It looks like it might have cleared up now. I'm scared to move it any because I don't want it to mess up on me again. But I want to tweak it just a little bit here. Okay, let me get some better lighting over here. I'm not used to doing this at nighttime with the different lighting, so I'm kind of seeing where I need to improve my lighting here. Okay, but I'm going to go ahead and get started. My name is Debbie Foster. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and I'm located in Bismarck, Arkansas, in the United States. Hi, Deborah. Glad you're here. I was having some technical difficulties with kind of a blurry picture, so I'm hoping that it doesn't come back. It looks good on my side. How does it look on your side? Okay, I'm just going to kind of watch comments here. Okay, I'm creating cards with Debbie. That's the name of my Facebook page. And you can shop in my store at www.debbiefoster.stampinup.net. And you can email me anytime with any questions, and it's creatingwithdebbie179@gmail.com. And my blog address is www.creatingwithdebbie179.blogspot.com. And I'll have all the instructions and dimensions and pictures of all the cards that we do on there, so you can go on there and get all the directions to anything that you might like. And to sign up for Paper Pumpkin, this is the sign up website. And this month it is Haunts and Harvest Paper Pumpkin, and you have until September 10th to sign up for that. And it says, experience everything the autumn season has to offer with this month's Paper Pumpkin kit. Whether you're thinking about crisp red apples, or you're already ready to carve some spooky jack-o'-lanterns, or both, the Haunts and Harvest Paper Pumpkin Kit is a hands-on crafting experience for all autumn lovers. And with the Paper Pumpkin Kits, it's a monthly subscription. It comes with everything that you might need to create the projects that are in the box. It's a stamp set, a little tiny ink spot. You'll get, the first time you'll get your own clear acrylic block with it. And everything is included in the kit that you might need. All you might want to add would be maybe some liquid adhesive, and maybe the scissors would be all that you would need. I got a frog in my throat here. Okay, and during Sale-a-bration right now, we have Stampin' Up has a promotion going on where you can join my team and you'll get a starter kit for $99. But that kit, you'll be able to purchase $125 worth of products. And they're also offering until the end of Sale-a-bration, which is September 30th, you can add a free bundle onto that. So with everything added up, you can be getting products worth over $200 worth, so for just the $99. And that includes your shipping. There'd be just a sales tax you'd have to pay on top of that $99 if your state has sales tax. So if you have any questions on that, be sure that you get with me. I'd love to have you join my team. And lots of fun. Plus you'll get a discount on your orders in the future of that. So who doesn't like to save money? Alright, so I'm trying to think if there's any other housekeeping news I need to go over. I think that's all. I do need to give you the August host code because we do have another week left of August yet. Hard to believe. But the August host code is JCHDAEYY. So there we go with that. I might take a drink of water here. I've got a dry throat for some reason. What are y'all drinking tonight? I just got water. Okay, so our first card is going to be, it's the Peaceful Cabin, which I love this set. It's so pretty. It could either be Christmas or it could just be a wintertime card. So I'm going to get a lot of use out of this. I like it a lot. And you also have the dies that go right along with that. So it's got the Peaceful Cabin as a stamp set, and then the dies are the cabin dies. And those are both in the mini catalog. And I'll show you that in a minute here. It's called Peaceful Cabin. And get my post-it note off of there so I can show you. It's on page 38. Make sure that you're in camera view here. Yeah. Getting a lot of glare off my lighting. I guess because it's a different time of the day for me. Alright. So, it's a very popular set, I think it's going to be. And you can order out of the mini catalog until December, I think it's Well, it's January 3rd it runs through, so we've got a little time on that one. And then here's the inside of the card. I made this one a Christmas card, but I think the one that we're going to do is going to be just a wintry kind of card. So I'm going to change it up just a little bit. So let me get my bits and pieces and my stamps and everything out here so we can get started. My instructions. And I hope everybody is okay with me doing this at nighttime. I thought maybe I'd catch a lot more viewers at night because everybody's usually working during the daytime. So I'm kind of trying to get a broader audience. So we'll see how it goes. And if you're not watching it live, I'm glad that you're able to watch the replay. And I will be posting it to YouTube, but probably not until tomorrow because it'll probably be late by the time I get everything finished up tonight. So we're going to be using our blending brush, and the inks that we're going to be using is going to be the Cinnamon Cider, the Balmy Blue, and the Basic Gray are our colors that we're using. And I'm just trying to see if I got everything out here that we need to get started. First off, we're going to start out with our card base. And of course it's way at the bottom of my stack here. That is just our basic heavy white. I've got a smudge in there, so I might want to turn that over. But that measures 5.5 inches by 8.5 inches, and we've scored it at 4 1/4 inches. And I'm going to turn this out so I got the smudge on the inside, on the outside where I can cover it. And we're just going to burnish that edge of that real good. And then we've got a Balmy Blue matte that is 4 1/8 inches by 5 3/8 inches. And I've already gone ahead and I've embossed that ahead of time to save a little time this evening. And I'm using the Wintry embossing folder. It's a 3D. It's our mini ones. You'll probably see it better on the picture if I show the picture. It's got one is the evergreen branches, and then the other one is snowflakes. So we're going to be using the snowflake one on there. So anyway, I've already embossed that, and I didn't do the whole thing because only the top portion is going to be showing. So I'm going to get a piece of scratch paper here, and we're going to use our blends, and we're going to put a little Balmy Blue ink on top of there to bring out the snowflakes a little bit more. So we're just going to rub that into our ink pad, and I'm going to start off on the paper and work myself over, because if I started onto the paper without starting on the edge, I might have some smudges. It's kind of a thicker ink, so you don't want that to happen. You want it to be more soft coming on there. So just keep doing it until I get the texture that you want to. And I'm going to turn this around and come back on the other side. I can't believe I've got such a frog in my throat tonight. I don't know where that came from. Guess it might be allergies with the things blooming outside, maybe. I don't know. It just came on sudden. Alright, so I hope everybody's doing well. We've had some pretty warm days lately. We've had the heat indexes up into the hundreds, so thank goodness for air conditioning. I remember days when we didn't have air conditioning. I don't know if the days have gotten harder or we've just gotten softer. I don't know which it is. Could be both. Okay, I think that's good. And when you're done using your blends, you can just rinse them out with just warm water, and the ink will run clear out of them. So, and then be sure when you're drying them that you set them facing up to dry. And these can be found in our book. You get 3 brushes, blending brushes. I think they're $12 or $12.99, something like that. So those are brand new this year. We didn't have them before, so I'm kind of glad they added them to our collections. Alright, so we've got that finished, and now we're going to okay, I think I did the wrong one. I did. Okay, let's back that up. I grabbed the wrong one. That was supposed to be our matting, but that'll still work. We're going to bring back in our blending brush. That wouldn't be me if I didn't mess up, I guess. So let's bring back our ink pad, Balmy Blue. That was just a practice one. Alright, let's do this again. Just bring it over. I thought I had embossed it before, and I went and did another one. I guess that's what threw me off. I was thinking it was supposed to be the Balmy Blue cardstock, but it's not. So this one is the white, basic white cardstock, and it measures 4 inches by 5 1/4 inches. And then the Balmy Blue, which is going to be our matte, that measured 4 1/8 inches by 5 3/8 inches. So, but all's well. We'll get this done up right the way it's supposed to be, and no harm. Okay, so we're going to put a little bit more blue on here to bring that snowflakes out. And we turn it over this way. Okay, and then maybe a little bit more up there. There we go. I'm good with that. Alright, so I'll put my scrap paper away. And we're just going to glue this to our little blue mat. Bring in my liquid adhesive. And we'll just have some extra snowflakes on there peeking out, which kind of looks good. I like that. Maybe it wasn't such a bad mistake after all. Be sure you like and share the video. That gets me more viewers, and Facebook likes that. Our what do you call that? Origami? No, wait. I can't even say the word. It brings viewership anyway when you like it. So I don't know how that works. Alright, so we're going to set our card base aside and set that aside, and we're going to do some stamping. Okay, that one's for our sentiment. This one's for our trees. I've already mounted all of our stamps here, so I'll just bring those out. We're going to use our basic gray ink. Trying to stay in the camera view here, so. And we're just going to stamp that kind of. I'm trying to judge here, because when we cut this too, it's going to cut the snowbank for us, so that's going to go onto our front of our card. Alright, so there's the trees. And I'm going to do the cabin. I've got 3 cards to do tonight, but depending on how long this one takes, because it could take us a little bit, so I might have to cut it down to just doing 2 cards tonight and saving the 3rd one for another time. But we'll see how our time goes. Alright, so there's the cabin. I love this too because it's the detailed, distinctive detailed stamp. So it's really cool looking. All right, and then we've got some fences. Let me move these. I'm going to lay this down here and not get ink all over myself. Right there. And we're going to do the fences too. We need 2 of those. We're going to do those using the same ink. I'm going to do those up here. All right. That way. All right, is there any more stamping I need to do? We need to stamp our little fox. We're going to stamp the fox using the cinnamon cider. And we'll stamp him up here because we're going to be die cutting him. So I like it because it's got dies for everything in this set, so it makes it really easy. A lot less fussy cutting. I'm making sure I don't have nothing on my fingers here. Alright, so we're going to bring in our baby boss and we're going to do some die cutting here. And my plates. We've got the number 1 and then we've got 2 number 2 plates. And I'll turn this around. If you alternate your plates, they won't warp as much, so I've been doing that. And it seems to work. Where did I put my dies? There they are. So we have the dies. And this one here will cut out the trees. And this one cuts along the cabin. And I've already cut out the snowbank for the fox, and I'll show you how that works. And we need the fence. Okay. So I'm going to have to tear this down. And being it's a smaller one, I can't fit the whole piece of paper in there, so we're going to cut her down. And we're going to just line this up with the cabin. And I'm going to use some tape here to tape it down so it doesn't move on me. I've already got those strips out. So we'll line that up on our stamped image. Okay. I might want to put 2 down there to hold it in place, just to be sure. All right, and we'll run that through. Might help if I put the top plate on. Okay. And this is our baby mini emboss machine. It makes it handy to have on your desk, work surface. I also have the big one too, but this one's handy to have right there with you if you're just going to do small dies. Alright, so let's get rid of the tape. And put our die over there. And see, it just cuts all the outline of the cabin. So we're going to snip that other side off. We'll have to trim that up afterwards. I'm not being real particular. So that's the start of our snowbank. See, it'll go like this when we're done, and then we'll layer everything. We'll layer the trees behind there, so we'll cut those out next. And I need to cut this down a bit because it's a little bit too big. I think it's a 3-inch space that goes through here, so sometimes you have to cut it just a little bit to get it to fit. So we'll do our tree dies, and we'll line those up. And that also will cut along the top side, but then it leaves the snowbank at the bottom, so I think that's pretty cool. Used to be we'd have to tear paper to make it look like a snowbank, but this does it all for us. So much easier. Alright, I think I've got that situated right. Let me put another piece of washi tape there. And to keep your washi tape from being so sticky, I just put it on my clothes a couple times, and then it takes the tackiness out of it, so it won't rip your paper. Thank you. Hi, Sharon. Oh, I'm sorry, Sharon. Yeah, just catch the replay. I'm sorry you can't stay. I hope everything's well. Okay, so tear that off. And get that one off. Get rid of the tape. Put the die over there so I don't lose it. See, so isn't that cool? I like that. And we'll set that aside, and we'll go ahead and we'll die cut our fences and our fox. And then we should be done with the die cutting. So here's one fence. And we'll use our washi tape to hold it in place. And a little fox die. And it's so little that you gotta be careful how you situate in here. Alright. Alright, so we'll... I think it moved on me. Maybe not. I hope it didn't. Okay. So we'll have to cut one more fence. And get the washi tape off of there. Until our days are getting shorter, it's starting to get dark out there already. So here's our fox. And there's one fence. And we'll do the second fence. Oops. Turn it the right side. Alright, I don't need that tape. There we go. I think that's all the die cutting that we need to do on this one. So we can put our machine aside. And our plates. And I guess I can reach over here and put it over there. Alright, so here's our fences. Oops. And the other fence and our fox. With our fox, I've already die cut. If I can find it, where did I put it? Okay. This die cuts the fox. It's this die right here. So that gives you the snowbank that this fox is standing on. But I went ahead and I cut that out ahead of time. And then the fox just sits on top of that area. That's already notched out for him. So we're going to go ahead and glue him on there, so we don't lose him. Okay. Alright, so isn't he cute? Alright, so we're going to start assembling this. So we bring our mat back over here, and we're going to start out with the trees. We're going to position those. And I'm not going to glue anything down until I've laid it all down and so I can see where I want it at. Because I may have to do some trimming, like here I need to trim some off the bottom. So I'm going to bring in my little paper cutter here. You can't buy this anymore. It was one of the, I think if you became a demonstrator or something, you were able to get it free with your kit. So I wish they would bring it back into the catalog because it's really handy to have on your desk too. Maybe someday. So I'm going to position my house. And I've got this a little bit too long too, so I'm going to have to trim it off. So let me do that. I need to trim it down. I'm just going to eyeball it here. Hopefully I get it right. Line it up with the other one. And then the same with the fox one. So I guess I didn't trim those down to size. But that's an easy fix. Well, if I could cut straight it would be. There we go. Alright, so let's put our trees down. And our cabin, which can be brought up here a bit. And then our fox. Well, I'm going to have to scooch it down just a little bit here. I think that might be good right there. So I'm just going to lift this up a little bit, and I'm going to just place some glue underneath. I don't want to move it to mess it up. So, oops. Well, I just did, so alright, we'll just have to redo this. So let me get my glue on the back. And let me see if I can figure this out again. I'm thinking it was right about there. Yeah. Okay, that works. So I'll press it down, and then I'll put some glue on the back of our cabin and the snowbank. And I think right there, let me see, put my fox down. Yeah, that works. And press it down. And now we're going to put some glue on the back of our fox snowbank. And we're just going to put that along the bottom edge. Alright. I got a smudge on there. I wonder if I can get that off of there. Looks like I had ink on my fingers or something and I touched it. So I'm going to bring in my ink eraser, my mono eraser, sand eraser. And it's made for ink, to get ink smudges off. So hopefully I can get rid of it at a couple spots there. Oh yeah, all better. That worked. Okay, so here's our cabin and fox so far. So we want to add our fences in there. So I think I'm going to place them right along here. And I think I can, yeah, I can slide that up underneath my fox. So I have enough room on the other side for the other fence. Okay. So we'll start with the right side of it first. And of course I got plenty of glue on there, so we're just gonna put some on the other one to get rid of some of that, so have it oozing out of there at me. And we're just gonna set it down on top of the snowbank a little bit. Oops. And this one is going to go just behind the fox on top of the snowbank. And I think you can see it right there. Alright, so what am I missing? We want to do our sentiment. And for the sentiment, I decided I'm going to use thank you. And I'm just going to use a scrap of paper here, and we're going to use the basic gray ink. And we're just going to stamp it on there. Hopefully I can get it straight. Here we go. And on that one I just fussy cut it, but I think I might just leave this the way it is. I need to cut off that bad edge. Well, yeah. I just need to trim it down shorter. And I might cut that at an angle. And we're going to place that on the edge of our card at the top. Let me get the scraps of paper out of there. And I'm just going to glue that directly down. I'm not going to use glue dots on it. You could pop it up if you wanted to. But I'm just going to attach it with just glue. Alright, now we can put that onto our card base. Alright, and center that on the front of the card. And with the liquid adhesive, you've got time to move your paper around if you need to. It gives you time to wiggle things around a little bit. I think I still got some glue over here. There. And I've got some gems that we're going to add to this, which are the elegant faceted gems. And I'm going to use my take your pick tool, which I had it here. There it is. And I'm going to use the frosted ones. They kind of look like snow a little bit to me. So I use the smaller ones. And we're just going to place them in different places on the front of our card. I like to do threes. So maybe one in the center of that snowflake right there. Okay. And I think we need to add some wink of Stella to kind of make our snow glisten a little bit. So we're going to put some on the rooftop of the cabin. Anywhere that there's snow at, we're going to put the wink of Stella. And we can put some on our trees. And right along the snowbanks. Man, you would think I'd be talking a lot today with my throat getting froggy. I don't know. Maybe I have been. Okay, so I might run some more down there across the eave of the cabin. Alright, so there's the front of our card. It says thank you. And then for the inside sentiment, I'm going to use, it's, your kindness makes the world a beautiful place to be. And we're going to be using the gray granite on the inside sentiment also. Tap, tap, tap. All right, and I didn't even smudge it. I was worried about that I was going to here. And we want to get our trees again, and we're going to stamp those also. But I'm going to stamp those out so I have a lighter image. I don't want it real dark. So we're going to stamp it off once. This is what you call second generation stamping. And we'll just stamp it down in our lower corner on the left side. Okay. Let me cover the ink pad up here and I'll show you what it looks like. Make sure my fingers are clean. Okay. So here's the inside of our card. And thank you. Your kindness makes the world a more beautiful place to be. I think I'm going to add another tree there. So I think there's a single tree I could use. Yes, there is. Okay. It's got kind of a bare spot there. Well, I thought I had a tree. Where did it go? Huh. Maybe I didn't. I guess we didn't. I thought there was another tree. Oh, it just looks like there is. Okay, never mind. We'll just let it be. I don't want to mess it up. So there's our first card. Hope you enjoyed that. And I'm going to move my stuff out of the way and bring in our next one. Set everything aside here. And this one's going to be a Christmas one. I know it's awful hot to be thinking about Christmas, but before we know it, it will be here. So we're going to do a Christmas card. And this is the card. And we're using the Peaceful Prints Designer Series paper. And this is a free item that's in the Sale-a-bration. With every $50 you can get one of these. So I love the designs. And even if you didn't want Christmas, it's got things that aren't typically Christmas that you could use. So it could be used other than Christmas also. And get my bits and pieces out here. So I think we are going to do just the 2 cards this evening because it's taken me a little bit longer on that first one than I expected to take. So this is the stamp set, and it comes as a bundle. You can get the deer punch and the stamp set, and those are on page, it's called the Peaceful Deer, and they're located on page 26. So, and if you get it as a bundle, you save 10%. So that's why I usually like to get the bundles all the time, because who don't like to save money, huh? Okay, so here's the card front, and then here's the inside of the card. And we're using that designer's paper, but we're going to also be using another free item that's in the Sale-a-bration, which is, oh wait, it's not in the Sale-a-bration. This one is a Hostess only paper pack. It's 48 sheets, and with a $150 order you can get it for $18. So there's 48 double sheets and they're 12 by 12s. So okay, let's get started, get our everything out here. And with this one, I'm using the black card base. And that measures, it's our basic size. It's a 5.5 by 8.5 inches. And then it's scored at 4 1/4 inches. So we're going to go ahead and fold that and burnish it. Hi, Carrie. Glad you could come on. Be sure that you get back and watch the replay to catch what you might have missed. And welcome Brenda too. Glad y'all are here. I know I'm doing Christmas when it's so hot outside, but maybe it'll keep us cool. Maybe. Alright, like I said, this is 5.5 inches by 8.5 inches, and it's scored in the middle at 4 1/4 inches. And we burnished that. So let me get my instructions out here and all my bits and pieces. I've already die cut, or I've cut everything out already, so it shouldn't take me long to put this together. So, alright, we have, this is our inside of our card. It's the basic white, and that measures 4 inches by 5 1/4 inches. And the designer series paper, we've got this design, we've got the dots, and then we've got a strip of this argyle, which is out of that pattern party designer series paper. And like I said, that's a hostess only purchase. With $150 you can buy that for $18, and it's 48 sheets, double-sided 12 by 12 sheets, so that'll last a long time. Okay, so we've got the designer series paper, which this one comes from the Deers. It's the Peaceful Prince, and that's out of the Sale-a-bration. It's a free item with $50. And we're using this one and the dots out of this other one, which are oh wait, yeah, the dots, and then we're using the argyle. So I had myself confused there for a moment. But this designer series paper with the snowflakes, that measures 5 1/4 inches by 2.5 inches, and we're just going to glue that to the top of our card base. I'm glad to see everybody tonight. I'm hoping this might work out better for everybody. Let me know if you like this better than in the mornings. No, I'll continue doing it in the evenings instead. Whichever works best for everybody. So we're just going to leave a small border going around the top and the two sides. And then we're going to take this, the dotted paper, and that measures 1.5 inches by 5 1/4 inches. And remember, you can get all the dimensions if you go to my blog. I post everything in there that I make, so it has the pictures of the items plus all the dimensions. And then I also post the video there too, so if you want to go back and re-watch it again. And that's on my description in this video, so you can find my blog address there. Okay, and then this little strip of the argyle paper that measures, well, great, I didn't put the measurement down. Well, we've got the ruler here. Let's bring our ruler out here, and we're going to do some measuring. So we have 1/2 inch by 5 1/4 inches. And that's going to be our little strip that's going to go across that seam to hide that. So we'll put some glue on there. And we'll attach that right across the center. You could put a ribbon here too if you wanted instead of the paper, but I kind of like the way the paper looked with it, so I am using some white twine that we're going to put a bow, so I do have a little ribbon on there. Okay, then I've got a strip of our black, basic black, and that measures 3/4 inches, and it doesn't matter how long it is because we're going to be cutting off the end of it. And then a strip of the basic white, which is 1/2 inch, so 1/2 inch and 3/4 inch. What we're needing. So we're going to stamp our sentiment on there, which is going to be, it says it's the best time of the year. And we're just using our our Memento Black ink to stamp with. So we'll get that inked up here. And this. I did a whoops there, but I think I might have to redo this. I don't think I want to do that again. That's why I got a long strip of scrap paper here, in case I goof up. And you want to leave a little space at the left side because we're going to banner cut that on both this and the black. Alright, we can cover up our ink pad for now. And we're going to cut this off. And I've got our banner, what's this called? It's our banners pick-up punch. It's got different sizes and it's got the different ends that you can use, but we're going to use this end. And we'll put the left side of it, we'll chop off. So I always turn mine upside down to make sure I got it centered really good. And it goes flying in the air. Okay, so that looks good. So we're going to do the same with the bigger one. Okay. I like how they go flying all over the place here. Okay, so we're going to glue this down to our black cardstock. Okay, Carrie, you like the evenings? Okay, Brenda, it makes you feel cooler if I'm doing Christmas? Yeah, I figure it can't hurt. Maybe we need some Christmas music to go along with it. What do you think? Okay, so we're going to put this up on dimensionals. Now I'm going to use the black dimensionals. And it looks like I get to use my edges because I'm almost out of the black on this one. So don't throw the edges away because you can cut them up and still use them. So this one's sticking kind of bad. Okay, it didn't want to come off of there. So I'm going to just snip that off, and then I'm going to use that to put in the center to help support it. And I'm going to set that aside, and we're going to go ahead and we're going to stamp our deer. And I've got some scraps here, so we can stamp our deer. I thought I had some scrap paper here. Well, I think I have enough room on here for our deer. And we're going to be using the black Memento ink, and we're going to cut out 2 of these deer and then 1 of this one for in the middle. So put that aside. We're going to use the black Memento ink. Get things out of the way here. And ink them up really good. And I'm going to stamp them. I should have been using my mat. Oh well. We're going to hope for the best. Well, I can go with that. And we'll ink him up. Her, him. And we don't have to cut these out because we've got the punch that's going to cut these out for us. And I need another scrap of white paper, which I thought I had, but I guess I didn't put them in there. I should be able to grab some here somewhere. We usually have scraps laying all over the place, so yeah, we've got one right here. Alright, and then our third deer. We'll put her there. Okay. And put the lid on the ink pad because black I'll have all over my fingers. It never fails, which I do already. And move our stamp sets out of the way. And bring in our deer punch. And this is really cute because it's got the antlers, 2 antlers, and then it's got a little dot there that you can use for a red nose if you wanted to punch out a piece of red paper to go on his nose so he could be Rudolph. Or it could be his eyeball too, whichever. He's already got the eyeball stamped, so you probably wouldn't need that. And we're going to just line him up in here. I'm thinking, hope you can see when I'm doing this. See if I can keep it in camera view and get it lined up at the same time. And whoops, and then we're moving. Well, I'm going to have to hold it and do it because it's moving on me. I don't want to redo them again. Okie dokie. Get your leg over there. And I have everything out of harm's way here. Looks pretty good to me. There's one down. Get sure my scraps aside. And there's got an antler sticking out there. We're not going to use the antlers though. Or some say they call them horns. Antlers, horns. They're all the same. And, uh-oh, look what I did. I didn't space him right. Let me turn. I gotta stamp him again because I chopped off his head there. Sorry, dear. That sounded funny. Alright, let's try this again. Okay. All's well. Now we can punch it again. I need to tear this up and get it out of the way. So I can squeeze my punch in there. And, well, I feel like I'm all thumbs tonight. Now, let me see here. Didn't leave very much paper to hang on to my positioning. There we go. Alright, so we'll set that aside. I've got pieces of paper all over me here. I might save those antlers for something else. But here's our 3 deer. The middle one, that's the black one, it says, "Oh, what fun." It says on the body. I don't know if you can see that in the camera. Let me get it up here closer and see if you can see it. Well, video interrupted. You weren't supposed to do that. Well, it doesn't like me doing that, so we'll leave well enough alone here. Maybe once I get it on the card, I can get it up there better. Okie dokie. So we're going to put those girls, I'm going to say they're girls. We're going to put those up on dimensionals. And I'm going to just use the white dimensionals on those. So we'll start out with this one. And I'm just going to put the 2 dimensionals on each body because I'm not going to worry about the head. I figure the body will support it enough. And there. One over there. One there. Okay. So I'm going to bring in my Take Your Pick tool. I'm going to use the pointy end to pop off those dimensionals. And I usually start in the middle, but with these, I think I'm going to start on the left side. And hopefully I can get them spaced right. And I'm going to have them so that they're kind of rearing up. And they'll have their foot just on that little strip of paper there. All right, now we'll take our middle one and we'll place her in the center. I'm not going to push down just in case I have to move these out of the way. So I don't want my dimensionals to get a good grip on the paper there. I want to make sure that I can lift them up if I need to. And there. So I think I can maybe move her over a little bit. Okay, I think I like that, so I'm going to press them all down real good so they'll attach there. And then I'm going to take our sentiment and I'm going to take off the backings of those. Oh, it's saying video's interrupting. I don't know what's going on with Facebook, because everybody that I've seen lately, well, last night, a lot of other demonstrators were having the same trouble. I guess it's Facebook doing their thing or something, that it says video interrupted and then it comes back on. It keeps flashing it on and on. So I don't know what's with that. Okay, so then we've got a piece of our baker's twine, the white, which you can get this in a, it's in a, is it a 5-pack? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, a 5-pack. It's got all the different colors. And it's the Baker's Twine Essentials pack. And that's also in our, I think it's in a mini catalog. Pretty sure it is. Okay, so we're going to get a glue dot and we're going to attach that. And I just did something before I started on camera. The mini glue dots, I don't know why, but they started, they came out this last time, but the glue dots were on the opposite side. They're on the back side. It was so awkward, so I unrolled my whole roll of glue dots and I put them on the right way. So yeah, I didn't like the other way. It was so awkward or something. It just wasn't right. We're used to the other way. So I hope they change them back to the original way, because I don't care for this. All right, we're going to put our Baker's Twine bow just under her feet here on the left side, and make that a little ball. And we're going to press this down. And this is I made a triple bow with this. I wrapped it around my bow jig 3 times to make a triple bow. It made it a little bit more hefty, I think, instead of just a single thread. And we're going to just trim those tails off. Okay, so here's the outside of our card. We're going to add some gems to this too, I think. Yeah. We're going to make all the deer with a red nose instead of a black nose. Well, maybe I'll just do the, maybe I'll just put a red nose on the middle one. Let me see what that would look like. Okay, maybe I'll just put the one on there. Well, no, let's put on all of them. My original had it on all 3, so we'll keep it that way. Oops. And these are just our red rhinestone basic jewels, and those are in the mini catalog also. Or no, they're in the, no, I take that back. They're in our annual catalog. Same with the twine, I think, is in the annual catalog. Okay, so now we have our inside, which is 4 inches by 5 1/4 inches. And I just did a little strip of that argyle paper. And that is 3/4 inches by 5 1/4 inches. And we're just going to glue that to the bottom of our basic white. My glue bottle is clogging up here or something. This bottle has been so temperamental for me. I don't know what's going on with it. It keeps wanting to plug up on me, and that's not the normal. I don't know what I'm doing different. Alright, so then I've mounted our sentiment, and I'm using 2 sentiments on there. I'm going to use the Merry Christmas and sending, what is it? Sending love and peace this season. So we're going to stamp that using the black Memento ink, and I'm reaching across the camera here and making my video stop. Look at that thing, it's crazy. It can be annoying. Okay, so I'm going to use my mat on here because we're using the photopolymer stamp. I want to make sure I get a good impression. So ink that up, and we're going to stamp it in the upper center of our card. Oops. Set that aside, so there we go. And then we're going to put some glue on there, and we're going to attach that to the inside of our card. And we'll turn that around. Okay. Alright, so there we have our reindeer, our deer, and there's the inside. Merry Christmas, sending love and peace this season. So, okay, so we've got 5 after 8. Do y'all want to stop now, and I'll do the one that I had already done? We'll do that for next week, or do you want me to go on? Be sure you like and share my video too. I might not have reminded everybody to do that. Well, I'm just kind of waiting for comments here to come up. I could show the card to you. It might not take us very long. If you're all willing to hang out here a little bit longer, we can go ahead and do it. But here's the card. It's a fall card. So let's see, I did Christmas, I'm doing fall, and winter. So I guess I'm kind of covering everything. So it'd be alright if everybody stays here a little bit longer, and we'll go ahead and we'll do this card too. Or does everybody have to quit for the evening? Nobody's commenting. So I guess that means yes. Alright, well, I'm going to go ahead and do it because we've got everything cut out, so it shouldn't really take a whole lot of time. I think I do. Oh, there was my video acting up again. Let me know if you all want me to do it, or we should stop. Alright, Carrie says go for it. Okay. Alright, let's go for it, I guess. If anybody's got to go, they can just leave and come back and watch the replay. So, it's not past my bedtime yet, so we're okay. Okay, so here's our card. It says, gather together, and so thankful for you. So this could be a Thanksgiving or just a fall card. A fall for y'all. Alright, I'm just kind of moving things away here so I can get some room going on. Okay, so our cardstock, card base is going to be, this is our pumpkin pie cardstock. I had a senior moment though, I couldn't think what it was called. It's 4 1/4 inches by 11 inches, and it's scored at 5 1/2 inches. And we're going to burnish the edge of that with our bone folder. And we'll set that aside for a moment. And then I've got a piece of our designer series paper, which is, I think it's our Regals. 6x6, yes, our 6x6 Regals. And these are double-sided, and it's got different patterns. So I'm going to be using a strip of that, which is 3 inches by 5.5 inches. And then I've got a strip of the cinnamon cider, which is 2 inches by 4 1/4 inches, and I didn't emboss that yet. So let me go ahead and do that really quick. I got to get up to use my big machine though. Hang on there a minute, I'll be right back. Try not to make too much noise with it while I'm doing this. Get my plates out. And I'm using the Big Boss for this. Because it's a full-size folder. Alright. So that won't take too long. And this I'm using the Time Worn type 3D embossing folder. And it just gives you just some ridges. You can't read it or anything. So that's decorative. Alright, and we're going to take that and we're going to get out our ink, which is going to be using, I don't have all my things out here yet, so I'm using the pumpkin pie ink, and I'm going to use, oh, I didn't show you the stamp set. I'm getting ahead of myself here. Where did I put the stamp set? Okay, it fell down there. Here's the stamp. Move the ink out of there. It's called Pretty Pumpkins, and it's got the dies that are detailed pumpkin dies. And I'll show as I go. I'm going to be using the leaf, the pumpkin leaves, and we're going to just stamp around our edge of our card base, just to give it a little character along the outer edges. Okay. And then I'm going to take our strip of our cinnamon cider, and that's going to go kind of mid-center. We're just going to glue that down. Looks like I might have lost some people here. My numbers are dropping. I guess somebody couldn't stay. Hopefully they'll catch the replay of anything that they might have missed. And there we go. And this is going to be put down on dimensionals, which I think I'm going to go ahead and use my edges here. My black edges. And put some in each corner and then a couple in the middle. And there, and then we'll put one in the very center. Oh, I should have stamped my sentiment there. Let's see if I could tear these off a minute. Getting ahead of myself. We're going to be using the Gather Together, and we're just going to use the black Memento ink to stamp that with. And we're just going to stamp that at the bottom of our designer series paper here. Okay. And then I've got, I guess I do have to do some die cutting. I didn't realize. I've got the pumpkin. We're going to use the pumpkin pie to stamp that with. I think I can fit it on here. Yes. Okay. And I've die cut the other pumpkin, detailed pumpkin out using, it's another one of our free products that are in our Sale-a-bration. It's the Bedazzling 6x6 specialty paper. And this is really pretty. It's kind of glittery, but it doesn't come off. So that's one of the things we're going to be using. We're going to be using that. We're going to attach that to the top of this. And I'm going to just add a little bit of glue in the bigger spots. Oops. I didn't want that gushing out there. It did. Just enough to hold it in place. I don't need it on every single area. And we're going to center that. Alright, and then our pumpkin, we're going to die cut that using one of the dies, which I have misplaced. And we're going to bring Baby Boss back over here to die cut her. And move our things out of the way. And what did I do with my plates? You don't want to see what my desk looks like right now. Where did I put them? Ah, I see them. We got them. They weren't too far away. And we'll get our pumpkin, our die. We'll get that centered on there. And we're going to use some washi tape to hold it in place while we crank that through. Okay, and set that over there again. Alright. And our washi tape off of there. And here we have our pumpkin. And I better put this back in the folder so I don't lose it. Alright, so there's our pumpkin cut out. And we're going to put that up on dimensionals on just the one side. And I can put these back on the bottom there. I hope you'll excuse Cookie. Every night this time she thinks she sees something. I don't know. Hard telling. And then we're going to take our ribbon, which, where have I put the ribbon? Oh goodness, I am so unorganized. I had it with everything. Oh, it's right here in front of me. It could have bit me. This is our bumblebee gingham ribbon. And we're just going to tie that around the lower portion. And tie a bow, which isn't always easy when I'm on camera. We'll see how this goes. I might just tie, okay, I just tied a knot. I didn't tie. We're going to do a faux bow. Okay. Alright, let me clip that off. Alright, let's go ahead and attach this to the front of our card. Take all these dimensionals off. Pop them off. get that centered right. That looks pretty good. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to glue that down to the front of our card. And I kind of got it over towards the left side a little bit more. It's not quite centered because I wanted to leave enough room for my pumpkin without going off the edge of our card. So I'm going to put dimensionals on the one side of this, and the other side will be glued directly down. Oops, I got glue on my ribbon. Okay, so we'll just position it right about there. And we'll trim down our ribbon a little bit more. Oops. Guess I need to take the dimensional backings. Won't stick otherwise. Alright, let's try this again. There we go. Okay, so there we have our front of our card. And I think we need to put some rhinestones on here to decorate it up a little bit. So I'm going to get my rhinestones. And I think I'm going to use they're called the champagne rhinestones, the basic jewels. And I want 3 of those on the front of our card. So I'm going to put one there, and one there, and maybe another one down here. It didn't stick very well. Okay, so there's our card front, and our inside. I thought I had paper cut, so I cut out a few of these extra ones ahead of time, so I always have just in case. So that measures 4 inches by 5 1/4 inches. And we're just going to stamp our sentiment, which is going to be, if friends were pumpkins, I'd pick you. And I'm just going to use the black memento to stamp the sentiment. And we'll stamp that in the upper center. Alright, and then I've got the 3 pumpkins. I'm going to stamp that in the bottom corner using the pumpkin pie. Okay. And now we can glue that to the inside of our card. Centered somewhat. Okay. This much there. So if I have gather together, if friends were pumpkins, I'd pick you. So, and you could also put a little bit of wink of Stella onto the pumpkin, which let me do that. And just a little bit of bling, a little sparkle. Okay, so there we have our 3rd and final card. Let me get things out of the way here, and we'll close up for the evening. We have this one, we have the deers, and then we have our thank you card with the snow scene. Let me see if you're getting into view here to see everything. And be sure if you missed the first portion that you go back and watch the replay. And be sure you check out my blog also for the dimensions and directions of all the cards that I do. But that's all for this evening, and I'm hoping that you guys will like me doing this every week in the evenings instead of during the daytime, because I know a lot of people work during the daytime. So next week will be Tuesday, August 31st. And I'm thinking I want to go a half hour earlier at 6:30. So let me know if that works for everybody. If it doesn't, I can do something different. But I'd like to start at 6:30. And that way I don't feel so rushed that I got to quit early. But I'm going to say goodbye for now, and I'm glad you're able to come. Everybody stay safe and stay healthy, and we'll see you next week. Bye.